why I think that Kyle and Mauricio Umansky are secretly back together and that they're going to plan some huge, big public reconciliation, and that Morgan Wade's PR relationship with her contract is up. Okay, so let's look at some other receipts. Now, all of a sudden, Kyle Richards is now blaming the quote media for misrepresenting her friendship with Morgan Wade. Meanwhile, this entire time, for the last year and a half or 2 years, it's really been Kyle calling the paparazzi on herself with Morgan to get them, photos in Aspen and photos of them hanging out and at the concerts and doing this, that, and the third together. It's insane, doing the whole like sexual lesbian, music video together and sharing fruit. Yeah, it's the media's fault that we all thought you and Morgan were in a romantic relationship. Kyle, stop lying. Bye, girl. You wanted everyone to think you and Morgan was in this salacious romantic relationship because you wanted a storyline, you wanted relevancy, and you wanted your husband's attention. But even after all of that, Mauricio still didn't pay you dust, and it kind of blew up in your face. And now I think that contract is over because, again, don't forget, these celebrities have PR contracts. So whenever a celebrity wants to have, say they have a tour coming up, Morgan Wade, or they have a new season coming up, Kyle Richards, they will start to date other celebrities in order to come up with them. So more clicks, more views, more stories in the press, more paparazzi. Actors do this all the time. If it's award season, all of a sudden you'll see this actor who's notoriously single dating a cute, Victoria's Secret model. I'm looking at you, what's his name? Oh, I see his face. Bradley Cooper all of a sudden is now dating Gigi Hadid. That's a PR relationship, in my opinion. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, the NFL wanted a big push with the millennials or the Gen Zers or the young kids, right? So all of a sudden, Taylor Swift, who we all know is one walking brand, is now all of a sudden in this romantic relationship with him. So we've seen this happen all the times. Either it's reputation rehab, or they're pushing a project, or they just want more clicks and views to sell their merchandise and promote whatever they have going on. PR relationships between, quote, celebrities happen all of the time. All of a sudden now, Morgan is deleting her pictures and photos with Kyle Richards. Why? Unless the contract is up and Morgan is ready to bounce. I'm like, this internet, please stay. And then I also have a video of Kyle talking about this on Jeff Lewis Live, where she blames the quote media for misrepresenting her relationship with Morgan. So let's listen to that video and then we'll get into the article as well. So here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Fingers crossed it stays in place. All right.
Everyone wants it to be more. Everyone has all of these other like scenarios or, ideas of what's happening.
A group of friends that I lean on, know, in the media, they only show Morgan. But she's part of a group of friends that there's those friends that are the first text messages of the day.
Yeah.
Immediately, there's like tiers of friendship, and you may love all of these friends, but there are different tiers. My first text messages of the day are 4 different people. So, but if I'm walking down the street having lunch with them, they're usually cut out of a photo. Unless it was yesterday where my friend Jana, who Jana.
I know Jana.
Saying hi to me. We were saying goodbye at the Glen Center, and it looks like the photo literally looks like we're kissing each other or something, which has happened to me before in the past. But I'm like, of course they want to use that photo. But usually they cut my friends out unless it's Morgan. It's so funny. Right. I was in Paris, and my friend Tina that I've grown up with since I'm 10 years old, she's cut out of every photo, but they don't know who Tina is. It's like, so.
They want to drive that.
Yeah, so that's the narrative they want. So that's been the focus. And, I, of course, when you're going through a hard time, lean on my closest friends. And I said that in the show, in my interviews. I never went to therapy before. I am in therapy now, but my friends were my therapists always. And I grew up with a family of all women, and when I'm struggling, like my friends are they're my therapists, they're my rock. And now that my kids are older, they're also like my rocks. Growing up, I was too busy taking care of them when they were little, but now they help me too.
It's
But
amazing
I
when
share
that
everything
happens,
with
yeah.
them. Good, bad, the ugly. We all do. I mean, if you saw our text messages.
Kyle, girl, bye. This is the thing with the whole, it's the media and not us. You call the paparazzi on yourselves. Like, that's how they know where you are. You know what I mean? They don't have a GPS tracking on you. You call back, right, because you want the paparazzi photos. Also, do you do, lesbian inspired, and obviously, when we talk about sexuality, just in case we have any new candy canes on the show, when we talk about sexuality, it's not from a demeaning or derogatory place. It's from a place of inclusivity and love. So if I say lesbian, if I say woman on woman, if I say homosexual, it's because we're all equal. So we can all get it equally because love is love. So that's how we are here. So just wanted to make that clear. But Kyle, don't act like you're doing girl on girl videos with all of your friends. You really honed in on the whole narrative about you and Morgan potentially being more than friends. You have her on the show. You're tattooing your initials on her body, So the media didn't do that. You did that because the truth is, the majority of what we see in the media when it comes to these celebrities is because of the celebrities' PR team and their camp. So when you see these celebrities like, oh my gosh, just running out for, a quick Starbucks latte. Yeah. And you called the paparazzi to get that photo. Oh, I'm just trying to have a private dinner, with my new boyfriend who happens to be an NFL player. Yeah, because you called the paparazzi to get those photos. So the only reason why we had this narrative of Kyle and Morgan as being more than friends is because that narrative squarely came from Kyle's camp. Squarely, right? Then you have her on the show being like, well, would you ever date a woman? Well, I would date a woman and blah, 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 and like feeding her fruit on different episodes. Like, Kyle, stop. The media did not create the narrative that you and Morgan were in a romantic relationship. You created that narrative to tease us with whether or not you and Morgan were in a romantic relationship. So stop. But it looks like that PR contract is up. So I saw Amy said contract question mark. So what I mean by PR relationship contracts is literally certain celebrities out there, whether it's athletes, musicians, stars, reality stars, actors, influencers, they actually have contracts that they literally sign and draw up to have these quote fake PR in the news and the media relationships with other people. Usually it's either it depends on, if you are the star or the celebrity that's on the come up, or if you're pushing something, it depends, but they'll have that other celebrity and it'll be like, you have to do these types of interviews. You can only say X, Y, and Z about the relationship. You have to come to these award shows. Like, I think Timothy Chalamet, is that his name? And Kylie Jenner, I think that's a PR relationship. 100%. I think he wanted to push his Willy Wonka movie and he wanted the whole Kardashian Jenner fan base. And that was a whole complete PR contract. They have them. And that's what I mean by that. So just to clear it out there. But I think, but now all of a sudden she's deleting pictures and posts. I wonder why. And now all of a sudden Kyle is like, no, the media made our relationship sexual, not us. Stop playing in our faces, Kyle. You made the relationship with you and Morgan sexual. You did. Not even us. That wasn't us. That was you. And you have to think, why? Why now is Morgan deleting photos? But let's get more into it, okay? So this is according to Reality Blurb. It says Kyle Richards is setting the record straight about her, quote, friendship with Morgan Wade, as the two continue to face questions about a potential romance, both on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and off. Kyle blamed the false narrative on the media as she accused them of cutting other friends out of photos from group outings, and Morgan raised questions on Instagram by deleting nearly all of her pics and promoting her, quote, not okay merch. She's in a group of friends that I lean on, Kyle said of Morgan on the January 23rd episode of Jeff Lewis Live. In the media, they only show Morgan, but she's part of a group of friends. Though there's those friends that are the first text in the morning of the day, immediately there's like tears of friendship and the ones that you love And you may love all of those friends, but there are different tiers. My first texts in the morning are the day are 4 different people. But if I'm walking down the street having lunch with them, they're usually cut out of a photo. Kyle, stop lying. According to Kyle, there was an instance recently where one of her friends, Jana, was included in a paparazzi shot. However, it seemed to only be due to the fact that they looked like they were kissing each other as they said goodbye after a day out in Los Angeles. Now, again, Kyle, stop lying, because nobody has thought that Kyle has been in a romantic relationship with any of her, quote, friends up until now, because that is the narrative she put out there. Like, it's crazy. That is the narrative you put out there. And the reason why the paparazzi, and again, this is another reason why I think it's a PR contract relationship. The reason why the paparazzi don't cut out Morgan Wade is because Morgan is a part of why you call the paparazzi. And the paparazzi know to keep Morgan in there because that's part of the contract. That's a part of, it's called Backgrid. Backgrid is the paparazzi company that these celebrities call, and they pay them to show up and take photos of them. And then the photos that the people at Backgrid take, those end up on TMZ, Reality Blurb, Page 6, Radar Online. A lot of these celebrities pay and call the paparazzi on themselves, but then they play because it's a game. Then they're like, oh no, I'm just trying to get to my car. Like Kyle spotted pumping gas on Wilshire Boulevard. How did they know she was pumping gas on Wilshire Boulevard? They're not clairvoyant. They're not psychic. She called them and paid them. And then now she's in Page 6 pumping gas on Wilshire Boulevard. Kyle, stop playing. Stop playing. Dun, da, 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 da. Meanwhile, during her outings with Morgan, Kyle and the country singer are always photographed together. That's the narrative they want, Kyle stated. That's been the focus. Again, Kyle, why are you now saying that? You could have said this, I don't know, in the very beginning. But instead, what did you do? You said, me and Morgan, we're really, really close. It's a special type of friendship. She just really gets me. Blah, 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 blah. And then you have your sister Kathy out here. I just want Kyle to be happy, and Morgan makes her happy, and they seem really good together, and blah, 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 blah. Come on. Come on. Continuing on, Kyle seemingly gave a nod to her separation with Mauricio Umansky, saying that she was going through a hard time, and she leaned on her closest friends. Then she goes on to talk about being in therapy and all of that stuff. But what I think is also very interesting is that Morgan, as we said, deleted all but 2 pictures of her and Kyle from her Instagram account. This is according to Bravo and Cocktails. And then she posted a story of a not okay hoodie. I don't know what not okay is. I mean, obviously it's the tagline or the brand of the merch she's doing. What I mean by I don't know what not okay means for her. I don't know if it's like a lyric from one of her songs. I don't know if it's about her sobriety. I don't know if it's about her contract with Kyle. I don't know if she's just not okay with being a pawn anymore. I don't know what not okay means. I need some clarity, Morgan. But as always, I want to know what you guys think. What do you think about all of a sudden now Kyle is publicly saying in the media that her and Morgan, she's just like any other friend to me. She's in a group of friends. When before I thought Morgan was your special friend, you had this special bond. She really got you. She really understood you. It was so different with her. You're tattooing each other. To now, Morgan is just another chick in my group. That's basically what Kyle said. Morgan is another chick in my group. And Morgan deleting all of the photos. Put it down below. Let me know what you guys think. And always be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's move on to my